All right. This is Brother Mario Dixon from Pioneers for Peace.
Good afternoon, everybody. Good afternoon. Just want to come speak on behalf of Pioneers for Peace. We're a group of survivors of violence, a group that was ran by my brother who is with the ancestors right now, Wayusi Olasola. We met Mr. Coach Henderson through brothers when we came here to do a presentation here during day school, and he asked us to come out and, work with the brothers, which we embraced. It was an honor and a privilege. And I just wanted to say, you guys, keep your head up, stay focused. And there's going to be people that's going to be trying to beat you down mentally to keep you from going where you're going. But always stay strong and always stay connected, like this brother said, to your circle, to a positive circle. Because it's a cruel world out here, but at the same time, heaven and hell is what you make it. All right? So I love y'all. Peace and congratulations.
Come on over, Vito. You next.
And I was going to let him just take it over today. Well, what I would say is simple. What I would say is simple for one. We were here, 2009. We were here in 2009. We was here a little before. I want to say, from our experiences and being around you guys, you have changed the complexion of this school. Simple as that. And I could give great acclimate to your leader, but I'm going to give it to you because you guys had to make a choice with seeing different classes leave, and you guys chose to fill those spots. So you changed the complexion. Don't let anyone tell you you didn't. And in a world where elevation could depend on shaking hands, it was kind of significant the brother threw his fist up. Because trying to shake a hand with a fist, you can't do it. So you have to let go of some things that you've learned to this point. You have to open that hand and open your mind and yourself up to shaking hands. And some people you shake hands with may not be your complexion. They may not be from your walk of life. They may not even speak your language, whatever your language may be, because that's translatable in communication. So you have to learn all these things. And finally, I want to say, brothers in transition is not about ethnicity. It's about brothers in transition. It's a mental thing. It's nothing physical. It's 100% you taking your experiences and your revelation, which is a big word in this transition, and reaching back and staying close to not only the brothers you graduate with or that's a part of this group, but people with like minds, like dedication, like paths, and you allow them to transition with you. Thank you.
At this time, we'd like to ask Brother Tom Petson to come and say a few words.
Thanks, Don, and thanks, brothers in transition. My name is Tom Petzold. My family's been involved with developing the Belmont Shopping Center since my grandfather in 1958. I'm 46 years old, and I've been working on it in our family business for 18 years. And when Coach Henderson asked me to speak, I thought I'd talk a little bit about my perspective of what I've learned as I look back on my career. And I want to talk about hard work and getting up in the morning and going to work and doing a good job, and treating people with integrity and honesty, and giving it your best. When I was your age, when I was a teenager, I started getting employed, and I got to be honest with you, the reason I was doing it was for money. I was interested in getting money, and it was a selfish motivation for money. I think money is attractive for starting a job, but as I look back, I think of what I've learned through my career is that working hard in whatever career you choose has so much to do with things outside of money that and ultimately end up coming to benefit you. And I'll just talk a little bit about some of those things. It has to do with the other people in your life. And that is the key thing that is to understand is how when you work hard, you affect other people in a very positive way. The people that you're working for come to depend on you and trust you. And the people you're working with get inspired by you, and it raises how hard they work. And when this happens, you develop a lot of self-esteem and confidence. But the most important group of people that you work for is your family. And each one of you, as you go through life and develop a family, your family is extremely important. And it's extremely important that you understand that what you're doing when you get up out of bed and make the most out of yourself that day it's for other people. And I would really encourage that to you guys. It's something that I learned from my grandfather and from my father, and it's that if I had to point to one thing as to why Belmont has been successful, I think it's a approach that we are providing for our family, and we have a long-term perspective on taking care of the people in the community and in our family. And I think that's important to get a little bit away from focusing on yourself, because you're going to develop a lot of real confidence and self-esteem when you have these other motivations. So I really encourage that. So I just want to use these moments to share with you kind of my perspective on that. I'm really incredibly honored to be here. You guys are so important to the future of the city, and don't ever be afraid to acknowledge how important each one of you are. You know, I think it takes a lot of courage to think that, you know, I'm important, but each one of you is extremely important. And I just hope you guys will have the confidence and trust to believe in the importance of each one of you. Okay, so thank you. This is great. I'm glad to be here for the first time, and it's a great relationship that I've gotten with the school, and I look forward to having it grow. So thank you.
All right, we'll keep this rolling, but before I ask this next person to come up, I don't know how many of you know her, but this lady is a dynamo. If you have not had a chance to meet Miss Shirley Burks, if you tell her that you're bored, that's the wrong person to tell, because she will find something for you to do. So with that said, we'd like to ask Miss Shirley Burks to come up and say a few words.
Thank you, Mr. Henderson, to the principal and to this fine Brothers in Transition group. It's an honor to be here to just give you words of encouragement. As I look around the room, I see the faces that I have asked and almost begged to go out into Detroit, in the community, and take the signs, illegal signs, off the pole. It's all about you focusing on your city that you live in, that you care about how it looks. You do not know how very important each and every one of you sitting in here. You have a purpose in you. God has something for you to do. That gift inside, you gotta find it. And you can't be afraid. Mr. Henderson and I all the time are speaking about how awesome Detroit is. But what we hear is the negative. Don't buy into the negative. You need to speak up, stand up, be the father one day that you will be, but right now be the brother. Be a brother to your sisters. Watch out for them. Okay, respect. The word respect from Aretha Franklin, when she says that give you respect, I want you to respect yourself. Then you will respect young ladies. You will respect your mother and your father. I have met this gentleman over here, Tom Petzold, I've known him about 12 years. How do you think we met? Because he had the same mindset on a business perspective where I was in the community from a neighborhood perspective. But do you know who put us together? I asked you a question. Who put us together?
God.
God. There was no initiation of Mrs. Birch or Mr. Petzold. When you meet somebody in your life, it is for a purpose. Don't waste it. Go out and do something. Don't let anybody tell you you can't. There is no such word as can't. I am an alumni of Pershing High School. Not going to tell you the year, but this is my school. I went here. I went to this school when it was all wooded and mostly Caucasian. My parents brought me up where it was no such thing as prejudice of a person's color. Piggybacking on, and I'm not going to talk all about Martin Luther King, but you know right now he's weeping. Why is he weeping? Because we're not doing what he died for. Am I right? Get out of this room, go out into your community and serve. When we did Clean the D, Mr. Henderson had up just children, girls and boys. You were cleaning. But you don't supposed to clean just on September the 6th, May the 6th. You clean every day. When you see something wrong in your area or wherever you may walk, pick it up. Do you hear me? I'm telling you to pick it up. You do not allow people to come into our city to make it bad. We had kids from Brother Rice in Farmington, that's fine. But where are the children at Nolan School, at Mason School? Where are all our kids here at Pershing? We get together and just love this city. You understand what I'm saying? My heart loves it. I won't let anybody talk negative about my city. So speak up, boys and girls, and I'm not going to talk anymore. I've talked too long because I love to talk. I just want you to keep on loving Detroit. God bless you.
All right, we got one more person we want to bring up because he's probably come the furthest than anybody else. And I had a chance to meet him at an event we took the guys out to, and we asked him to come out and speak. He said no problem, just let him know where. And that spoke a lot, spoke volumes to me, and I'm really proud to say I know this gentleman because we hit it off right away. Mr. Ernest, come on up, brother. So this is some of the things that the guys get exposed to.
Thank you. Good evening, how are you? Great. You guys look great. I know you're not sure. It's kind of everybody sitting back like, I don't know, you've been hearing the same. You've been hearing the same thing from just about everybody that came up and spoke to you, am I right? And the reason you're hearing the same thing is because it's important. The thing that I want you guys to take away is, everything that everybody said here, not just today, but the things you've been hearing all year long from your teachers, from your coaches, from the people that think that you're important in their life. One, you are important in their life. Two, you can do anything you want to do. I get an opportunity to talk to kids all around the country. I live in Miami. There are a group of guys in Miami that look just like you, doing the same kind of things you're doing. Come to Detroit, I see the same thing. And the amazing point is that nobody realizes what's going on. And it kind of reminds me of a story of a little guy and his dad walking along the beach. And it's high tide and the beach kind of rolls up some starfish on the beach. And it's hundreds of starfish because it was a low tide. And so the little boy picks up the starfish and he looks at it. And it's dead. And so he looks at his dad and he says, Dad, how come the starfish are dead? He said, because the starfish got washed up on the shore. And once they're out of the water, they end up dying. So the little boy walked along the beach and he picked up another starfish and he threw it back in the water. And he walked down some more and he picked up another one and threw it in the water. And his dad said, what are you doing? He said, I'm trying to save the starfish. And his dad looked at him and said, there are thousands of starfish out here on the shore. Why are you trying to pick up all of the starfish? He said, well, Dad, I can make a difference. He said, how can you make a difference? And the little boy bent down and picked up a starfish and he threw it back in the water. He said, I made a difference to that one. And he reached over here and picked up another one and threw it in the water. He said, I made a difference to that one. And that's kind of how we feel. We might not be able to save everybody, but the guys that are in this room right now, you're making a difference. And we want you to continue to make a difference. When I was checking in, there were two other brothers that were checking in at the same time I checked in. One was from the class of 2009, and the other one, I think, 2010. They came back because obviously the program made a difference to them. They realized what it meant to them, so they're coming back to see you guys, make a difference for you guys. So I want to encourage you that once you leave here, you keep focusing, you keep doing the things that you've been hearing all year long to do. Get out there and then come back and tell somebody else. Tell the brothers in the class of 2013. Come back and tell them in 2014. Because sometimes they kind of lose sight of what's happening. They think we're just in here and nothing's going to change. It's the brothers that have been here that come back that make a difference. The alumni that come back that make a difference because they know what it is. And I come to Detroit and I talk to you, but I have to go back to Miami and do the same thing there. Because I have to encourage them and let them know that you're not the only ones doing it. And if everybody starts doing what we've been talking about doing, you do the things that everybody's been saying all day long, all year long, it will make a difference. Believe me, it will. And I've been saying and focusing my attention on the guys because it's brothers in transition. But let me tell you, it expands more than just to brothers. Because the sisters see what you're doing, they're here supporting. And then now, it really makes a difference to the whole community. Thank you for inviting me again. And I'll be here next year to talk to the group of guys that follow you behind. And I encourage you to come back and talk to them too. Because they know you, they've seen you, and they want to be just like you. So thank you again and keep doing a great job.
Hope y'all had no crumbs on my back there trying to eat between speakers. But that was Brother Ernest Taylor. He didn't tell you who he worked for, but he works for Delta Airlines. And each of these guys that have come in to speak have some unique experiences. And because 2 minutes won't quite let you know what they're about, we just want everybody to make sure that when you get a chance to see, if somebody offers you a chance to go hear somebody speak, go hear them speak. Especially if it's for free. What is it gonna hurt you? All right? Because, rap is just another version of communication, right? At a slower pace. Without music. But it still can be rhythmic. But before we move on, I gotta acknowledge a couple people. And first of all, like I said, I gotta re-acknowledge my wife because she's gonna beat me up, y'all, because she put together that PowerPoint that some of my young men was supposed to put together. We'll talk about that at a later date. Also, like I said, my youngest daughter is here. Stand up, Ashley. My nephew and my grandnephews just walked in the door. Could you guys stand up, please? And my mother just walked in, Miss Henderson. Could you stand up? Sorry, I forgot. We were just in a car accident last Thursday, so she's on the mend. I also got to give a big thank you to some of my volleyball players and Miss Felicia Jackson and Miss Ellerby. Could you guys come out and give a wave? Miss Jackson and Miss Ellerby prepared great food. Ironically, it's been the hardest thing. It's weird. Usually girls and boys want to get together. But when we tried to get them together and come to some of the meetings, they would say they were coming, but they would show up maybe one here, two there. Sometimes they wouldn't show up at all. But they came out today and helped out, and we really appreciate your support. Ladies, if you could stand up and wave, please. To my volleyball players and some volunteers. Two of those young ladies didn't even play for me, but they came out and helped me. So, with that said, Chauncey, could you come up and say a few words, sir?
Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Henderson. Thank you, Pershing High School. I've talked with Mr. Henderson several different times. I've come here for different programs. And I just wanted to let you know that I'm very impressed. I also travel the country, as does the pilot. I'm the past president for the Tuskegee Airmen. My father was an original Tuskegee Airman who flew to Washington in 1939 to so-called white America that blacks could fly. It was interesting, the young man was talking about the things, the statistics. There's another statistic that says that black young men won't live past 25. But it's interesting that these statistics were all proven false by the determination of individuals like yourselves. So I want you to know that anything that we set our mind to, take the vocabulary "I can't" out of it. And I can continue to keep that, because anything you want to do, you just dream it. And then you make it come true. That may sound somewhat simple to do, but it's really as simple as it is. There's things out here. For myself, I graduated from Highland Park High School in 1974. I have a master's degree in mechanical engineering. I got a scholarship from Highland Park High School through the co-op program to go to GMI. And then I continued on. So just to tell you about your dreams, I like to drag race. So I own Spencer Automotive. So I build race cars. So I took that trade and I went into aviation, but I didn't take it into the mechanical part. I took it into the history part. So every one of you in here, we're all Americans first, without hyphenation. We're all human beings without any other things to be made. So, as the young lady was speaking of, you know, I was raised in the same family she was raised in. That said that there was no black and white. There was just right and wrong. So, I'm saying that not to preach too long here, but I do want to be able to have a chance to tell you that I expect for you to be the next leaders. And that means you have to work hard, and your obstacles will be different than mine and be different than his. And each generation has a different obstacle, but they're all obstacles. And the success of overcoming your obstacles is what we must do. I thank you for that.
All right. Before we start the onslaught of the young people coming up to say something, we have a special gentleman here who got introduced to me by his grandmother. And Ms. Dossier, where are you? She's in the back. Oh, there she is. That's Ms. Dossier. She's one of the ladies who helps out at local schools and works in the community. And she's come in to help us on occasion. So, Ms. Dossier, thanks again for coming out.